Welcome to another edition of Tea Talk, a transsexual's perspective on the world around us. Since the beginning of time, people have been born and people have died. It's just an aspect of our existence here on the planet. And from a very young age, you realize that there are people that die. You know, maybe it's a family member that you lose or a friend of yours, family member. But at a very young age, it pretty much comes into your consciousness that this life isn't something that lasts forever. There are many different philosophies or beliefs from people all around the world on what happens to us after we die. I personally believe that the spirit that I am, the life spirit that I am, continues on in some form. And, you know, physics does prove that. You know, in physics it's said that energy never dies, it just changes form. Even with that knowledge, I have to admit, I do have a slight fear when it comes to the experience of my dying. And I think for a lot of us, it's not so much dying, it's how it's going to happen, which is the thing that we're afraid about. And boy, there are so many ways to die. I mean, you know, all the different accidents that can happen and all the different diseases that one can get. You know, there's just so many different ways. And one of the major diseases that we deal with here on the planet is cancer. I mean, since Farrah Fawcett and Patrick Swayze has been in the news, their cancer struggle or battle has been in the news. It's been one of the things that have been on my mind. And you know, there's so many different lives affected by cancer. I mean, recently I was having a discussion with my sister, and we were talking about, like, it seems everywhere you turn, there's someone that is either sick with cancer, or there's a friend or a family member of someone that's sick with cancer. It's just really, really crazy, I tell you. You would think that with all of our technology, all the technology we have here on the planet, that we would have found a cure for it by now. But, you know, hey, we don't have a cure for the common cold, so there you go. Some people seem to get it, and they're able to go through treatment and overcome it, you know, and they go on to live a very long life. But there are a lot of people that get it, and it actually kills them. People like my good friend Lila, who was a Reiki master, and she was a spiritual guide for me. People like my Aunt Marilyn, who was always loving and supportive in my life from when as far back as I can remember. Died of breast cancer. People like little Blair, 6 years old, with so much life ahead of him, diagnosed with a very aggressive form of leukemia, dies within a few days. People like my sister and brother-in-law's good friend, 31 years old, gone. People like the woman, one of my co-workers at work, wonderful woman, who just, I mean, she was a trooper. She'd struggle into work with her wig on her head and a cane to help her walk. She died last year. All of the pain and suffering, I mean, it's just horrible. And right now I have a good friend, her name's Catherine, and she's battling cancer. The doctors say that there's no hope. She has a very rare form of cancer, and they basically told her that there's no hope, and it's a terminal situation. I know we all have to die, but does it have to be so horrible? I mean, wouldn't it be nice if we could just, when it was time for us to kick the bucket, for lack of a better phrase, we could just lay down in a comfortable bed and pass away peacefully? I mean, that would just be wonderful. no accidents, no horrible disease, horrible sickness. But I guess that would be a perfect world, wouldn't it? I dedicate this show to everyone that has been affected by the horrible disease of cancer. Until next time, love, peace, and blessings.